The responses from public safety leaders almost seemed in unison. We could have done better.
They were on the hot seat today in front of city commissioners 7 months after the Halloween floods. KXAN investigator Robert Maxwell has been looking into the flood response since it happened. He finds the public acknowledgments from city staff offer long-awaited context to a tragedy that cost 4 lives in Travis County.
We should have staffed up bigger, absolutely.
One by one.
We tried our best to get ahead of it, but really it was playing catch up.
These seasoned emergency responders admitted.
We could have done better.
Early on the morning, Onion Creek flooded. Staff at each major emergency agency experienced much the same thing, they say. After midnight, the heavy predicted rainfall and the calls for help eased off for a couple hours.
When their calls reduced and there was nothing specific saying, look out, there's a wall of water, it created this false sense of reassurance that the worst had passed.
When the rain resumed after 4:30 a.m., 911 held some staff over, but now say it should have been as many as 7 more people. And the fire call center supervisor briefly sent people home.
That was the wrong call, and that's been addressed.
And for the first time, we're hearing 911 staff had no protocol on what to say to callers needing rescue or where to direct them as the fire department rescue lines filled up with calls. The worst hour, 6 to 7 a.m. 439 people called 911 from their flooding homes. Fewer than 12% of those calls were answered without any delay. Now, 7 months on, emergency leaders emphasize new plans to run through disaster scenarios before the next bout of severe weather. One popular idea, just like red flag fire danger days where fire crews pre-position where a wildfire might erupt, Austinites will soon be hearing about blue flag flood danger days. In Austin, Robert Maxwell, KXAN investigates.
Chaos is how Commissioner Mike Levy describes the flood response, leaving it to the council to vote on any future outside flood review. Commissioners now want to know what the emergency departments need for this year's budget. Additional needs being called for now. The fire department is asking for 2 more rescue boats, adding to the 4 rescue boats already in use. 911 leaders will not lay out their wish list, but we are told to expect a request for several years of reinvestment in staff and hardware. It has been 11 years since Austin's 911 center has seen any real hiring. Last year, city documents show the police division racked up $630,000 in overtime. To see our full ongoing coverage of this issue, check out the Investigates tab at KXAN.com.